Chapter 5 Warlords of Japan. Hideyoshi, Japan's great leader. Imagine that you could do what no English or French adventurer ever did. Find that imaginary Northwest Passage. You steer your ship through North America, past mountains and meadows and deep pine forests, and come right out the other side, into the Pacific Ocean. Your ship catches a breeze and sails away from the western coast of North America, leaving it far behind. After weeks at sea, you finally see land, a long chain of islands rising out of the ocean in front of you. The morning sun coming up behind your back throws golden light on the volcanic peaks and white sand beaches of these islands. You've reached Japan, the land of the rising sun. During the years that sea captains searched for the Northwest Passage, Japan was at war with itself. The emperor had retreated to his palace, powerless. Warlike noblemen called daimyo ruled over different sections of Japan, each fighting against his neighbor for more power. Roving bands of Japanese knights, named samurai, wandered over the countryside, fighting for whatever daimyo could offer the most money or land. But then a great leader named Toyotomi Hideyoshi helped to end Japan's long civil war. Hideyoshi wasn't a prince or a rich nobleman. He was a peddler who made his living walking from place to place, selling goods. He had no money, no important family, and no good looks. As a matter of fact, his wife's nickname for him was the Bald Rat. But Hideyoshi didn't intend to remain a peddler for the rest of his life. Instead, he joined the army of a Japanese nobleman named Oda Nobunaga. Nobunaga wanted to unify all the warring parts of Japan under his rule. He convinced strong samurai to join his army. He attacked and killed anyone who opposed him. Hideyoshi served faithfully in battle after battle. Nobunaga's attention was attracted by this energetic local young man. Soon he gave Hideyoshi the special position of his sandal-bearer. Hideyoshi carried out his tasks well and was promoted time after time. Eventually, Hideyoshi became Nobunaga's favorite general, famous for his brilliant strategies in battle. Once, Hideyoshi was given the task of capturing a castle where an enemy of Nobunaga was hiding. The castle seemed invincible until Hideyoshi noticed that it sat in the middle of a valley with a river on the far side. Hideyoshi ordered his men to dam the river. The river spilled over its banks, ran into the valley, and flooded it. Stranded in the middle of this brand new lake, the castle's owner surrendered. Nobunaga spread his rule over more than half of Japan, but before he could continue his conquests, he was killed in battle. Immediately, 4 different samurai declared that they would help Nobunaga's baby grandson, the heir to his power, rule over Japan. The truth was that each samurai wanted the baby's title for himself. Hideyoshi was far away from the capital city of Japan, but as soon as he heard of Nobunaga's death, he gathered over 200,000 soldiers and marched toward the palace. The ambitious samurai came out to meet him, but Hideyoshi and his army crushed their forces. Hideyoshi himself defeated the strongest of the samurai, cut off his head, and attended Nobunaga's funeral, setting the head of the rebellious samurai down on Nobunaga's grave. Hideyoshi was even more powerful than Nobunaga, but his method of ruling was different. Nobunaga's people had said, "Our leader's motto is, 'If the cuckoo doesn't sing, I'll kill him.' But of Hideyoshi they said, 'His motto is, 'If the cuckoo doesn't sing, I'll make him.'" Nobunaga had killed his enemies, but Hideyoshi preferred to force his enemies to take oaths of loyalty to him. He didn't want armed revolt to break out, so he ordered that every Japanese man who refused to swear loyalty to him must give up his sword. He sent his soldiers on a sword hunt throughout Japan, taking weapons away from anyone who might possibly rebel against his rule. Once Hideyoshi had established his rule in Japan, he planned to expand his boundaries. He wanted to make Japan the biggest empire in the world, an empire that stretched far beyond the Japanese islands. So he gathered his army together and told them, "Look across the water. The land you see there will be ours." The land across the water was China, a country with 65 million people in it. Could Japan, so much smaller, really defeat this massive and powerful country? Hideyoshi was confident. He planned to ferry his soldiers across the water to the ports of Korea, land there, and then march through Korea into China. When his soldiers were ready to sail, he sent a message to Korea. "Make way, we are coming." Hideyoshi thought he was the most powerful man in the world, and that the Koreans would immediately bow to his will. But the Koreans disagreed. They ignored Hideyoshi's demands. So Hideyoshi turned his landing party into an attack force. He sailed across the water, landed his army on Korea's southern shores, and ordered them to move toward China. The Japanese soldiers rampaged forward, killing thousands of Koreans. But Chinese troops marched down into Korea to help drive back this Japanese threat. Against the combined Chinese and Korean forces, Hideyoshi's army began to falter. And Hideyoshi soon found that the Korean navy was much stronger than his own. Whenever he sent supplies across to his army, the Koreans attacked his ships with their famous tortoise boats. These boats were covered with iron plates so that they looked like turtle shells. Rather than firing guns, they rammed the Japanese supply ships with sharp iron spikes. Outnumbered, Hideyoshi announced that he would make peace on one condition. The daughter of the Chinese emperor must come to Japan and marry the Japanese emperor. If a Chinese princess married the Japanese emperor, their sons would claim the right to the Chinese throne. But the Chinese simply laughed at this sneaky attempt to make China part of Japan. In response, they told Hideyoshi, "Your emperor only holds his throne because we allow him to. He should ask Chinese permission to rule in Japan." Hideyoshi was infuriated. He gathered his forces together for yet another assault on Korea. But the soldiers had barely set foot on Korean land when Hideyoshi became ill. Soon he was too sick to direct the attack. The soldiers retreated, and Hideyoshi died not long afterward. He had gained power over Japan, but he had failed to conquer China.